Hello everyone, my name's Cliff and welcome back to my channel. This is Cliff's Dark Gems. And if you're new here, welcome for the first time. Yeah, and tonight we're going to be doing the Booktuber Bio Tag. Who am I? Where am I? What am I? Stay tuned. Okay everyone, so this tag was created by Jessica's Library Card. I've checked out her channel already, pretty cool, go check it out. And I was tagged by Spooky Little Book Nerd and Stuart Griffin. Now, Spooky Little Book Nerd didn't so much as tag me, and she gave me an awesome shout out. Thank you so much. I might return the favour a little bit later. But yeah, so let's go on with the tag. Okay, prompt number 1 says, who are you? This could take a while. Share a little bit about yourself as much as you feel comfortable. Okay. I was born on the 3rd of December 2070. Sorry, 1970, sorry. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to go that far back. Otherwise we're going to be here all night. Let's go from university. So I graduated from Rhodes University. I majored in English and psychology. And yeah, that's a sleepy little town in the Eastern Cape, and my experience at university was kind of wild. Kind of a mixture of studying and partying, and yeah, it was a very, very crazy time. But yeah, then I basically started teaching, and most of my adult life I've been teaching, but I've also done a variety of other jobs, such as I was a field guide for 2 years. I was even a personal trainer. Because one of my big obsessions is sport, and in particular rugby and cricket, both national sports in South Africa. And yeah, that's continued, that obsession, up until now as well. But I played a lot of rugby. I played club level, university level, school level, and tennis as well. It's another thing I played up to club level as well. But yeah, and then when I stopped teaching, I met my wife, and yeah, we've been through some trials. I released a video about that, some trials and tribulations, and we decided to move down to the coast here, and it's a beautiful, peaceful existence. We take our little girl, Layla, for walks along the coast. We don't have any children, but I'm not going to go into that. But yeah, so I'm just a happily married, middle-aged man. Middle age or going into old age, I have no idea. I don't know what 54 is, but yeah, happily married, and I love Booktube, and I love reading, and I love expressing myself. And yeah, still play games a little bit. I watch sport religiously, rugby especially, and yeah, that's pretty much me. I'm probably missing a lot, but that's okay. So that's prompt number 1. Okay, prompt number 2 is, how long have you been on Booktube? Well, yeah, I joined in December of 2022, I think, yeah. And so that makes it about 2 years and 3 months, something like that. And it's been a blast, it's been wonderful. And yeah, I've had some personal ups and downs, but Booktube has been very special. So yeah, that's prompt number 2. Prompt number 3. What kind of books do you love to read? Has Booktube had an effect on what you read? Yeah, I read a horror. It's a horror channel. That's kind of a double-edged sword, because yeah, I have read outside of my comfort zone. I even read a romance, sort of fantasy romance thing as well. And I have explored other genres because of Booktube. But it's primarily a horror channel. One thing that I'm actually going to go into later on is that I used to read a lot of fantasy as well, and dark fantasy, and I tend not to do that so much anymore because of Booktube. That might change, but yeah, it's definitely had an effect on my reading. But it's also not just about what I read, it's about how I read, and I think I'm going to add that question to the question. So how much of an influence has it had on how you read? because you've got to give reviews. You've got to talk about the books that you read, so you have to be more thoughtful and kind of considerate about the content, how you're consuming the content, and maybe make notes and think about things, what you're going to say to your audience, because you want to give them something to inspire them to read the book. So yeah, that's my answer for that one. Okay, prompt number 4. What do you enjoy about making Booktube videos? Well, pretty much everything. I like to be entertaining. I hope sometimes I am on my little channel, and I hope to be informative as well. Put a smile on people's faces, people that love the same kind of books that I love, mostly horror, and yeah, just get people to enjoy it, and then to go crazy in a minute, that's okay. But yeah, I like to be informative as well as entertaining, and yeah, I'm waiting for the barking to start any minute now, and yeah, okay, let's just move on. I also love to interact with all of you guys. I love to chat in the comment section. I love to make friends. I love to build a community. There she goes. Okay, we're going to pause for a second. Okay, I'm just going to continue on. Sorry about that, people. Layla, maybe it was a cat, something like that. But I think, yeah, I enjoy all those things, making friends, building a community, and I love it when people come back and say, in a comment section, I love this book, and you recommended this book. That makes me feel kind of special, and I love it that I haven't had any negativity on my channel, which is kind of a breath of fresh air. It's like I hear people that get these negative stuff. Okay, I've had maybe 2 comments in the 2 years I've been here, and neither of them were like horrible, nasty comments, but they were just negative, and I kind of ignored them. So yeah, that makes me happy. Okay, the next one is an easy one. What do you not enjoy about making Booktube videos? And I reckon everyone who's done this tag is going to say the same thing. Kind of editing time. It takes a lot more time than you think, people. It's not just from editing, it's from filming, editing, and then posting, making a description, adding all the stuff in. And yeah, it can take a lot of time, especially for a channel like me where we like to get a bit creative, visuals and all that stuff. Some people think that's silly, but that's what we like to do, so that's our choice. But it does take a lot of time and energy. And just adding on to that, just having Booktube as a hobby. Being a smaller booktuber, I love reading, I love what I'm doing with Booktube, but even watching other people's videos, which you should be doing, and commenting on other people's videos. And I've done a whole video on this, and I have like over 200 subscriptions. So those are how many people come up on my feed. And you have to choose, you have to spread the love. That's all time consuming, people. And you have to balance life and Booktube and love and taking your dog for a walk and all those things as well. Yeah. Okay, prompt number 6, and I'm doing a lot of editing. We're going to be doing a lot of editing for this video because Layla's been in and out. There's been stuff happening outside there. Okay, I'll shut up about that now. Right, so what video on your channel are you most proud of? Now, I'm proud of so many of them for different reasons, but I've decided to choose 3 here. And the first one is my top 10 videos, horror novels of all time. And what makes me proud of this is it's just so interesting that it is the 3rd video that I ever created. I did my Booktube newbie tag, I did something else, I can't remember, and then I did this. I just thought it would be fun. And it's got the most views out of any of my videos. I find that insane. It's got over 4,000 views and hundreds of likes. And I felt at that time, particularly the lighting, the sound, was bad. And in fact I got 1 negative comment on that, but yeah, that was one of the 2. I just find that insane. So yeah, I'm kind of impressed with that video. The second one is top 10 horror authors. It's kind of popular. It's got like 800, 900 views. I really enjoyed making that because for each author I kind of went online and I tried to discover little bits about that author. So just something, kind of a special fact that you don't know about that author. And I found that very gratifying for myself because I didn't know that about the authors as well. And my audience enjoyed that as well. I had a lot of comments saying, yeah, it's so great that you gave that information. So I enjoyed making that video. But I think the video that I'm most proud of is advice for new booktubers. And I got a lot of positive feedback on this that really made me feel good because I genuinely wanted to give advice on that video that would help people starting Booktube, people that are worried about whether they should start Booktube, starting for the first time, making their first video, how to go about it, what to do. And yeah, so I'm very proud of those 3 videos. That's cool. Yeah. Okay, prompt number 7 says, is there anything you wish was different about Booktube? Now, for me personally, not really. I think Booktube is big enough, varied enough, in terms of style, in terms of substance, in terms of everything. It's got a little bit for everyone. But I have heard a lot of people, say they don't like these booktubers that just display their books without talking in depth about the books. Or booktubers that just want to read like 30, 40 books a month. Or, people that just collect books and show them off. Oh yeah, these are my books. They want more intellectual, kind of in-depth reviews of those books. And not like this lack of substance. Now, I say bullshit to that. And I'll tell you why. Because, as I say, Booktube is a big place. And there are a lot of people with different styles. And when new booktubers come on the scene, I would say, do your thing. Do what makes you happy. Create your own content. It is your channel. And if that means putting on a bit of razzmatazz to be entertaining, and doing wrap-ups and collecting books and doing show off all your books. I've done a lot of that. That makes me happy. That's why I started. I also do reviews. I also talk about the books I read. Hopefully I strike a little bit of a balance. But the thing is, if you only want intellectual discussions, like single book reviews, I've done a few of those myself, there are loads of channels out there, people. There are loads of channels out there. And there's nothing wrong with just watching what you want to watch. Finding the channels that kind of suit you, kind of make you happy. So yeah, I think it's big and varied enough for everyone that's watching. And in terms of a creator, I suppose I'm in it for fun. I haven't monetized yet. I might one day, but it's going to be a tiny amount. It's not going to be a big amount. Even if I'm allowed to monetize in South Africa, I'm not sure if I am. So yeah, I want to do this. It's a hobby at this stage to make myself feel happy, make myself feel good. Yeah. And another thing that came up, I watched this video on Book Chat with Pat. I didn't leave a comment, but I watched Light, because I do that often. And she made a comment. No, by the way, that is an awesome channel. She's a teacher, and she talks with such depth and intelligence, and almost like there's an empathy, this thing about her. Wonderful channel. But she spoke about drama on Booktube. Now, I don't do drama, people. And maybe some of the bigger channels, when you're watching in, there's a bit of drama and stupid stuff going on. I just don't go there. I don't do it. Sometimes I hear about something that's happened. I don't really get involved. I mean, the biggest thing that's happened to me is recently with, what's that author's name now? I can't even remember. But yeah, I just don't read him anymore. I haven't taken him off my shelves, maybe I should. Yeah, that's Neil Gaiman. It's the closest I've come to actually speaking out and saying it just really sucks. I don't want to talk to him. Yeah. But if there's drama on Booktube, I normally support smaller channels anyway. There are very few bigger channels that I watch. I'm going to talk about them just now. So I like to go for smaller channels, horror channels, maybe some other stuff. So we get a little tiny corner and don't get involved in all that drama stuff. So yeah, there's that. Okay, prompt number 8 is name 3 books that you have reviewed on your channel that you feel represent who you are as a reader. And I spoke about all 3 of these books very recently. And yeah, they're just like kind of top 10 for me, all 3 of them. And first of all, we're going to start off with Weeworld by Clive Barker. Now this is very near and dear to my heart. And I read this as a teenager when I needed some magic in my life. I needed some escapism. So it's a very important book for me. And yeah, it's just a magnificent dark fantasy, which I really need to start reading more of again, as I mentioned earlier. And yeah, just everything it represents, the magic, the characters, the creatures. Just a gorgeous, gorgeous prose. This man is a wordsmith. A fantastic book. So yeah, that's Weeworld. Second book is Boy's Life. I'm not going to put it up because my wife's busy with it. She was actually inspired to read this book because of my review, which I'm not going to redo. But yeah, it's just an incredible book about probably my favorite trope in horror or in anything. Is coming of age. It's just that nostalgic. I look back, kind of growing up, just absolutely wonderful. And then finally, a book that is horror for me, represents everything I love about horror, about the genre, and that is Swan Song, my favorite book of all time, best characters of all time, get to love and despise every single one of them. They're so well realized, and a world that's post-apocalyptic, devastated by nuclear war. This is a stunning book, and it should be on everyone's wish list to read. Swan Song. Yeah. Okay, number 9 is name 3 booktubers whose content inspires you. Now, I don't like these kind of questions because I'm subscribed to a lot of people. It's difficult to pick and choose. But I'm going to go for bigger booktubers, and there's not a lot of them that I'm subscribed to. And the 3 that I'm going to mention are, first of all, Michael K. Vaughan. He's an inspiration. I adore his channel. His sense of humor, he doesn't take things overly seriously, but when he talks, you listen. He's got a presence about him. And of course, Roger on the side as well. I love Michael and Roger. And yeah, if you haven't checked out his channel, be sure to do so. And next up, we got Ollie from Criminally. So incredible, so knowledgeable. Yeah, he's got a way of talking about books. Also that you just take notice and you listen. And he's read so many books. He's so wise. So check out his channel as well. And then we got Mark's book reviews. I love Mark's book reviews. And yeah, probably the biggest channel out of 3. Yeah, definitely. But I love it that there's kind of the intro and the outro and the way he presents himself and the channel. It's so entertaining, and yet also just he knows his stuff with books as well. And he mostly reviews kind of I would say fantasy, dark fantasy, that's his thing. But he also talks about horror, and I always look out for that content. And I think the first video I watched of his is his top 10 horror of all time, and it was interesting how many of them are on my list as well. Something Wicked This Way Comes was one of them. But yeah, those are the 3 I'm mentioning. Okay, and finally number 10, share the love. It can be challenging to find your audience. Name 3 booktubers who you think need more hype. Once again, I prefer to do kind of shout out videos, smaller booktubers. These booktubers are not necessarily tiny, but I do think they need more hype, and they've been on Booktube long enough that they should be growing. And I wanted to share the love, someone who shared love with me. That's Spooky Little Book Nerd, who I mentioned at the beginning, and she's got a lovely channel. It's so colourful, and she talks in more details about the books. But yeah, I love her backdrop. I think she does vlogs as well. So really go check out her channel. It's wonderful. And then secondly, we got Big Alda's Booktube. And yeah, he's been on for about the same time that I have. He's got over 700. And he mainly talks fantasy once again. But he's got an incredible collection of very special edition books. And he's just got this quiet way of talking about them, of reviewing the books, and about the different special editions. I just really enjoy watching him. His channel's also evolving a little bit, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. The latest video that I watched, he does a Lord of the Rings thing. Man, he's got these beautiful editions, and then he does a review at the end with these visuals and stuff. Go check out his channel. Okay, and then lastly we got Chris Reviews, and yeah, she's been on for like 4 or 5 years, and she's so friendly, so engaging, and yeah, it's like quirkiness, a spark to her reviews, and she talks horror and Stephen King as well as fantasy. So check out all of the channels. It's brilliant. Okay everyone, so that's my little tag video for tonight. Let me know what you think down in the spaces below. Remember, I love having conversations with you. So yeah, drop me a comment. Have you heard of these booktubers? You should check them out. And until next time, keep those pages turning, take care of yourselves, and cheers.